Hammers up, everyone. Towelliee here. Time for a 7.3 Argus, kind of like full review. I know I made a video before, kind of discussing what I thought about the gated content, but this is like now we're 3 weeks in. We're done with the story and all the quests and shit, and now I just kind of want to talk about my overall thoughts and feelings about 7.3 and the future of the Argus zone. Now, before I start, the video you're watching right here is myself and a few other viewers in the stream doing the new dungeon, Seat of the Triumvirate. I think that's how you say it. Mythic +10. And this is the first boss right here, so I could probably make a video on this if you guys want me to explain the fights or whatnot. Just put it in the comments if you want me to. So I kind of jotted down a few things. I'm not a big jotter when it comes to making videos or whatnot. I kind of just like thinking off the top of my head, but I thought with Argus, I really kind of want to like think about everything I liked and everything I didn't like. So let's start with the pros, because everyone always wants to hear the good shit first. So what I love about 7.3, lots of rares. Lots of rares. And I think these fuckers are like on 4-hour cooldowns, if I'm not mistaken, maybe a little longer. And I've just been farming the shit out of them constantly with like my stream, with guildies, with friends. It's been a great time. The Broken Shores kind of had rares, but they were like very sporadic spawning, and they were like 4 or 5 at a time. You know, with Argus, there's like so many up that you're going from one place to another, blah, 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 blah. And these rares do cool things. They, they drop mounts, pets, toys, and of course, artifact power, which is what I love, because probably by the time we're like artifact knowledge level 50, those initial 15 million token AP will be like a lot more. I'm bad at math. Y'all can figure that shit out. I don't know what it is. So with those rares, they're not really difficult. Some are difficult to solo, like Suprax. The one that's located in Antoran Waste, he's the guy where you have to like stand on the runes and then summon him. That's another cool part about the rares, that sometimes you have to do special little things to summon some of the rares. Like, 3 people stand on the rune, the guy spawns. Collect a few items, collect this, collect that, guy spawns. And there's a certain rare where you can only access it through someone dropping a portal because they did something. I don't know how. It's like the Zariah. I forgot the name of that rare. The big eyeball dude. You guys could probably know who I'm talking about. But yeah, the rares kind of have me like having fun. Like, I don't know. Some people are like, oh, it's so boring. I'm just farming rares and shit. And the rares also drop a lot of Veiled Argonite, anywhere between I think like 15 to 40. Or 44, 45 maybe. I swear I've gotten like 44 out of one of them. I have to check that out. Anyway, chests. There's chests everywhere. Some chests give you just AP and Veiled Argonite. Others give you AP, Veiled Argonite. And sometimes you might even get something nice and shiny. Maybe you'll get a legendary. I don't know. I'm not sure if legendaries have been confirmed coming off a chest, but legendaries have confirmed to have dropped off of rares. We were rare farming earlier today in the 40-man raid, and I believe we got like 2 legendaries, which I thought was really cool. The mounts are also pretty nice that they gave us a bunch of mounts that drop off of rares, but I don't really like the mounts too much as like these mana rays. Well, the mana rays come from eggs from the panthers. There's like 4 like panther-like rares. They drop a fell-spotted egg. After 5 days it hatches. And out of my first 5 eggs, I got the 4 mounts. So I was like pretty much done really early. And I got the little pets afterward. And then there's also like what are they called? The Vile Gnasher, the Biled Gnasher. There's a Talbot that spawns. I haven't gotten that one yet. But there's a lot of rares to get to. There's also achievements, get all the rares. And if you kill every rare, there you get like a set of transmog for your, for me, I got like a sword and board, 2 sets, I think it's 2 or 3 sets, a 2-hander, 2 sets of that. And I thought that was really cool that I actually finished that achievement and got, all those rare transmog items. So the chests are pretty cool. Also, there's hidden chests. So when you're doing 7.3 and you're going through the storyline, you keep unlocking these special abilities like Light's Judgment, where the little light comes down and splashes AoE damage. You turn into like the light forged Warframe. That one does a shit ton of damage for killing rares. Too bad it's on a 10-minute cooldown. Then you have the one that where you walk around in stealth, and when you come out of stealth, you're doing 100% more damage, which if you're a fucking rogue, you probably already know how OP that is. You can actually use those abilities to find secret caves all over Argus to open a treasure chest. All of them for me have just had AP and Veiled Argonite, so I don't think they're any special or whatnot. Let's see. So I like the rares. I like the chests. Like all the stuff that drops from them. You can get legendaries. You get lots of shit. Oh, you also get those BOA items, the 880 BOA items. Right now, my rogue on Death Rock has about like probably 25 BOA 880. It's like the Dauntless gear, but of Argus. I pretty much geared up my new level 110 Hunter and 110 Shadow Priest with all that gear. They went from like level from I'm level like 750 to like 860 just from that gear. Because you can also get relics and trinkets and neck pieces and rings, plus all the regular gear. So that's that. Those are so far some things I like. I got my list here. I'm trying to go through them. Oh man, the story. Yeah. 7.3 has a great story. The cinematics were great. The Illidan cinematic was great. The Illyria cinematics were great in the last week of the storyline on week 3. Really enjoyed that. Kind of leaves you thinking what's going to happen next, though. You know, I feel like there's so much, like, there's not enough closure on these stories, you know? Like, Illyria is, like, doing shit with the Void. Don't want to spoil too much. And it's like, where do we go next? It's like, you almost feel like there's going to be a 7.4 with, like, the Sylvanas sisters. Like, shit's going to go down. Like, Illyria's going to confront Sylvanas, like, yo, what the fuck? You're the war chief of the Horde? What? Bitch? Better recognize. And then, you know, Varisa gets involved and a whole battle goes all out. I don't know. But hopefully they kind of, you know, give us more of Illyria and the Void. You know, maybe we'll find out more in Antorus once the raid comes out. Also, besides the story being really good, there's also 3 zones to work with, which is pretty cool. You have your Antoran Waste, your Makari. I call it Macari. People always get mad at me. And then Krokun. So having 3 zones is a little bit kind of cool. You just navigate whichever one you want to do your world quest first and which rares you want to kill in whatever order you want. And I think that's a... I'm trying to figure out if you put together all 3 of those zones, if those landscapes are bigger than Timeless Isle and Isle of Thunder or whatnot. But I think the size of Argus is pretty awesome. Now there's Lesser Invasions. So week 2, we got the invasions. Lesser Invasions, Greater Invasions. Lesser Invasions are pretty easy. You go in, there's 3 stages. It's like a scenario, except you can invite, I think, anywhere between 5 to 10 or 15 people. And you go through phase 1 or stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, a big, you know, rare or, you know, elite comes out, you kill them, and then you get a lot of Veiled Argonite, sometimes mostly 40 plus, and you get a lot of AP. And that's pretty much it. And they could also drop legendaries. I actually got a legendary Ret Cloak from a Lesser Invasion. And people pretty much like doing those because they're fast, they're quick. I guess the story behind them is really weird. That you're pretty much like taking these teleporters or these invasion portals to like other planets and other universes where the Legion is attacking and you want to help that planet. Or something. I don't get it myself. I'm kind of like, well, can we get the story behind these other planets? Like, what kind of creatures are there? What kind of life is on these other planets? You know, I'm always like, I'm interested in that shit. I want to know what's going on over there. And then the Seat of the Triumvirate dungeon, as you can see as I'm doing it, it's very, very good. I like it. I like the landscape. I think there's going to be a few nerfs to it, kind of like Cathedral of Eternal Night. I think that's the name of the dungeon, right? Yeah. And you know how upper and lower Karazhan got some nerfs. So far, as plus 10, there's a few trash mobs that just rock you way more than the bosses do. So right now, I'm doing the second boss right here. The reason I'm tanking this fucking bird and not the boss, well, I'm tanking everything together, but this bird has a cast and no one was interrupting it, so I had to interrupt it, because if you don't interrupt it, you get dazed and you end up standing in this shit on the ground. I end up standing in a few things, but yeah, we're making good time so far. Wait till the third boss, it's pretty fun. And those are the things that I kind of like about Argus. It's a new zone, it's exciting, it brings a great story, it's going to lead us into the final big raid of the expansion. As Ian said, the final big raid. We have no, confirmation that it's the final raid. He did say that, there's still more of a story to tell with Legion, so I'm assuming there will be a 7.4. Now let's talk about what I don't like about Argus, because everyone always, oh man, Towelliee, you're always saying everything positive about Blizzard, man. Fucking shill, go make some more money for Jit. I'm like, alright, cool, whatever. So, what I don't like about Argus, the landscape. I don't want flying in Argus. I'm not one of those, we should have flying because you gave it to us in the Broken Shores and Isles, and then all of a sudden you just take it away. Fuck off, whatever. I don't mind not flying. What we could use is a few more teleporters here and there. Now, when you get revered with the Argusian reputation, you actually get a whistle that I think will take you to the nearest teleporter. That's kind of cool. That'll kind of shut everyone up with the whole flying thing. But dude, the landscape of like Antoran Waste is so bad. It's so terrible. Like, I'm always either dying in lava, I'm always encountering some other fucking like enemy. I'm always, you know, bumping into shit. Like, I'm dropping to my death because I have a cliff that I can't see below me until I get there. The landscape just pisses me off, man, in Antoran Waste. Makari, hey, that guy resubbed to my channel. That's awesome. That looks like a Chinese version of Towelliee. Anyway, I always feel like, you know, like in Makari has a pretty sweet landscape, but way too many fucking mobs everywhere. Makari is nice, kind of like in flat. Like Crocun is the same. Crocun is like you go up in a U shape, go off to the left, go off to the right, go to the Petrified Forest, you're good. But Antoran Waste, they got to add like 1 or 2 more portals, especially when you're trying to get from like one mountainside to the other. You got to go from all the way over here, all the way over there, and then cut across. Or you just get fucking goblin gliders. I'm pretty sure the market has been flooded with goblin gliders recently because people, you know, just want to just fly everywhere from point A to point B. Like, I've been using a few gliders myself just to get from like the mountain where like the Panther rare is to the other side to kill more rares. If not, then I have to go all the way around. So the landscape, not too bad. Makari, too many mobs. I can never rest when I'm there. Don't really like that too much. And obviously the biggest, like, you know, shitfest of Argus is you're always in combat. You can fuck off. You can go to my VOD of every single video since I've been farming rares since Argus came out, and just tell me how much time I spend out of combat. Hardly ever. I'm always like trying to like run away from mobs and get out of combat. Obviously, if you're like a rogue or a druid or something, you know, Shadow Mel, you know, fucking Vanish and all that other shit, that's fine. Like, for me as a paladin right now, I know there's like a toy you can use that kind of puts you in stealth, but man, I gotta keep outrunning everything. And some of the leashes on some of the mobs, they're not fucking like short. Like, I'm like running for like 5 minutes and these little blobs are still fucking following me. I'm like, fuck it, I just like log out, wait a few seconds, try to log back in, you know? But yeah, you're always in combat. And I'm sure it pisses you guys off as well. You know, let me know in the comments if that's something that pisses you off, because yeah, I'm not happy with the always in combat shit. Now, Greater Invasions. Boy, do I got a fucking gripe with Greater Invasions. Greater Invasions is pretty much like, let's take a world boss, put him in a portal, and call it something big, like Greater Invasions. That's all it is. You literally go do the quests right at the beginning, you do 3 lesser invasions, or you do a lesser invasion, and you unlock the greater. Inside the greater is a world boss. It drops 930 loot. That's really good. 930 loot plus a token that you could possibly use to, you know, get another chance at a, you know, whatever, at a legendary or not legendary, you know, higher item level piece of gear, or just another 930 piece of loot. But all it is, it's just like they took the world bosses and put them in a portal and said, here, this is new content. And I was just like, man, they could have made the Greater Invasion so much more epic, you know? Sorry about the sub notifiers. I can't really, this is all pre-recorded footage from my stream, so I can't really get rid of that shit. And I'm just like, man, give us something. Like a mini raid, you know? A 5-man mini scenario, 10-man scenario. I mean, maybe we don't have to require 10 people. But I feel like they could have done something better. I really can't think of what they could have done better right now. If I sat there for, you know, a solid, you know, hour and put my 5 IQ together, I could probably think of something better than just taking world bosses and fucking throwing them into a goddamn portal and saying, here's a Greater Invasion boss, you know? The lesser invasions just feel like at least a little bit better because there's stages to it. You know, it's very sincere and calm. When I think Greater Invasion, I think big fucking fight. Big fight against a big boss somewhere, you know, in some other universe or planet that the Legion is invading. Now, don't get me wrong. These elites, the greater elite world bosses, they're pretty fucking rough. They're pretty rough, I'll tell you that much. Let's see. Hold on. I'm going to fast forward a little bit so I can maybe show you guys the attempt where we actually killed it. Yeah. Yeah, we died. We didn't kill the tentacles. There's a part in the fight where you have to, like, DPS these 2 ads within, like, 5 seconds. If you don't, you just fucking die. It's pretty hard. Like, you'll probably see that coming pretty soon, actually. This might be another one of those wipes. So you also get feared, because you have to interrupt an ability that I'm not interrupting. So you go Dark Blast, Dark Blast. This is one where we popped Lust, so we definitely failed this one. And Tropic Forest kind of pushes you back. I know, I'm like doing like a dungeon guide in the middle of like a 7.3 Argus stuff. I told you, man, it's like that. It's an attention deficiency thing. Just kidding. I don't know, man. So kill these tentacles really quick. Umbral tentacles. This is going to be a pain in the dick on the 15. Once 15s are a requirement, we're like fucking screwed on this dungeon. Howling Dark, that's what you have to interrupt that I keep. Okay, these 2 ads. You have to interrupt these 2 ads in a certain amount of time. Obviously, I don't think we do it in time because like I see no damage being done to these ads right now. I'm pretty sure we're going to get fucking wrecked right here. Yeah, we got fucked. We got fucking wrecked. Yeah, it took us a few attempts. This is the part that took us like the longest to get through, or whatnot. So anyway, back to what I was talking about. So we talked about the Greater Invasion as a no-no. Now the Netherlight Crucible. Oh man, the Netherlight Crucible. What do we think about that shit, huh, boys? So you know, I went to my Netherlight Crucible, and I guess I understand the frustration because I went there, I unlocked my shit, and I'm like, all right. What am I going to pick? Oh, look at that. Some sort of retarded dot. Awesome. What's my other option? Oh, man. 500 mastery. Woohoo! You know, and I'm just like, oh, this is terrible. I got like 1 or 2 good passives out of my first run through into Crucible. Literally 1 or 2. I ended up getting like 500 haste. And then I ended up getting, I think like 1,500 more versatility while Concordance is active, which is not bad. And then I got a really good one called like Dark Mind or whatnot, something like that. It's like I believe you get like you deal like 250 or 300,000 shadow damage and heal yourself for 300,000 as well. That one procs all based on haste. So it's a lot of RNG. And sometimes when you look at the traits you get in the 3rd row, you're like, these all suck. I hate it. It sucks so bad. It's like, oh man, these all suck. If only it was this trait. So I did my raid. Tuesday night, I did, you know, my TOS raid. The bench it in was off the bench. I tanked almost all the bosses that night. And I got a new Holy Relic. I was like, all right, I got a new Holy Relic. Holy Relic is the one that reduces the timer on Ardent Defender, which I really want all 3 of my relics to be Ardent Defender, so that, you know, the cooldown is really low for, like, Mythic Kill Jaden. So I put it in there. Oh, man, I got some, once again, I got the Retarded Dot. I got some shadow damage and healing shit. And my traits at the bottom were all terrible. It was like Faith's Armor, the Blessing of Hammer, more damage shit, and I think like the Light of the Protector heal. Which, I mean, those are nice traits, but they're nothing like, you know, Stern Judgment, the Consecration one, the Ardent Defender one, the Block one, the Shield of the Righteous one, which is good for survivability. So it's a lot of, Netherlight Crucible is just pure RNG. And at this point, you know, people are trying to run so many sims and trying to run so much data on which ones are the best. I think I'm just going to end up picking whatever the fuck I'm just going to go blindly like this through all of them. And that's it. I'm done. You know, that's it. Because it pissed me off a lot, man. You don't see it on my stream, but inside I'm like deeply heated. I feel like screaming at the fucking thing. I think during my stream I actually did get pretty livid at some of the options that I got. Because now you take a risk, right? Like you're in a good flow. All 3 of your relics have a really good trait. But you know, you're doing a new raid, all of a sudden you go from like a 955 or a 950 relic drops, replacing your 930, but the traits you get are shit. So what do? Do you like leave your 930 or do you go to the 950? Obviously you're going to upgrade and just deal with whatever the RNG you got. Breathe, Towelliee, breathe. Oh, this is the last boss, Lura. This is like some sort of corrupt Naru that Illyria is going to be pretty much, you know, using her... she's going to try to, like, you know, harness the power of the void from this Naru. And it's going to be pretty exciting. This fight, before I explain the last thing about Argus in my little review here, pretty much kill these Rift Wardens, these add spawn. You also have to soak some ability. I forgot the name of it. Something Atrocity. But after you do that first wave, you kill the Warden, kill the ads. Don't forget the ads have a pool that it drops. Now, you're going to see Backlash on the boss. She's taking a lot more damage. At this point... You know, you probably want to pop hero. I forgot how many attempts it was to kill it. We wiped once because people didn't soak. I'll fast forward a little bit. I just want you guys to see the wipe here. I don't know why I left. I should have kept going. So now Call the Void. Again, now 2 ads spawn. And now twice as many little ads are coming out. I'm going to see if I can try to catch the ability that you have to, like... Is it Fragment of Despair? I don't think it's that one. It might be that one. Might be... I know it starts casting at a lower... Oh, there you go. Everyone just gets fucking rocked. Yeah, because I think you're supposed to soak something, but there it is. There's a soak ability. I can see the little ground exploding. Yeah, we pretty much wipe on this one. I'm just going to fast forward a little bit. to like the next attempt. Here I am trying to... I probably could have soloed this. Probably not, but there you go. Now you're tanking Laura. She comes out after the second backlash, and then everyone DPSs, and it's a pretty fun fight. I'm trying to fast forward a little bit more, just a little bit more. There you go. 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, I'm doing a timer, and we're on a timer. So the last thing I want to talk about is what will Argus be in about 2 months when the raid comes out. So based on the current schedule for Blizzard, we're not going to be getting Antorus for about another, like, 8 weeks, so 2 months. It's usually 77 days after the patch comes out, so that's pretty much 2 Tuesdays after BlizzCon, which makes sense. BlizzCon announces a new expansion, then they announce the raid is going to be available either the next Tuesday or the following Tuesday or whatever. Why the fuck have we not popped Lust at this point? What in the shit? Oh, because we're waiting for the second wave of ads. I told people to wait for the second wave of ads. So, what I like about Legion, obviously, in my review video from earlier, is the replayability of Legion. How, you know, it always keeps you going. You have the AP grind. But how are these rares and these chests and this AP grind going to feel in 8 weeks? Am I still going to be able to go to the group finder and find groups for every rare out there that I want to find? You know, like, I'm not sure. Are people going to be, you know, farming, like, you know, ore and farming, you know, astral glory? And that's something about that I always fear with Blizzard is, you know, man, that it's that gap between the patch and the raid where people kind of get bored. But it's not that much, right? It's 2 months of, like, kind of grinding Argus, grinding your artifact power, because the ultimate goal is to get to, like, 75 artifact traits so you can unlock the Crucible completely, which is going to be easy before Antorus comes out. Basically, the same amount of time it takes you to get those 75 traits is the same amount of time it took you to get, like, whatever it was, 32, 35, or Concordance in 7.2. So, I mean, that's what I'm a little afraid of, but, I mean, based on the previous patches, people kind of survived those 2 months of just, like, Broken Shores, and then when the raid came out, everyone was happy. So it's like Blizzard's kind of giving you this content, letting it go for like 2 months, and then raid. So before you're going to hit that unsub button, before you start fucking quitting, then they announce, hey, raid's coming out. And you're like, fuck, I was going to unsub. I was going to buy myself another Starbucks latte with that $15. But that's pretty much it. I mean, that's my thoughts. Hopefully, in the next 2 months, I'm still as excited about farming rares and getting treasures. And obviously, my community is a huge part of my stream. And my streaming life, you know, having them come with me every morning to do 40-man raids is utterly amazing and makes Argus way more exciting. Oh, here we go. There's Illyria harnessing the void. This is like spoiler alerts, I know. It's basically Illyria harnessing the void energy from the Lura Naru, and then she absorbs it into herself. And then basically she's like Purple Smurf, Illyria void person. I don't know why there's, on my VODs, there's always tearing, but I never see the tearing when I'm live. Yeah, that tearing, I never see that tearing. Do you guys see that when I'm streaming? That's kind of weird. Anyway, but that's about it, man. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. A lot of talking, I know, but I like doing these videos now. I'm trying my best to make like 1 video per week. I might even push out more than 1 or 2 if I find something really interesting to let you guys know about Blizzard or my thoughts on something about WoW. You know, I kind of, you know, I got 100,000 subs, and that's thanks to you guys and the support of you guys out there. And, you know, like, YouTube sent me this big plaque, like, congrats on 100,000. I feel like I haven't really done a lot with my YouTube since Legion came out. I've done a few videos here and there, but I kind of want to be more consistent to give you guys, you know, better content. So if you guys have any suggestions at all on what you want to see in terms of content, that's fine. You could suggest on how I should conduct myself and act, but kindly fuck off. I do what I want when it comes to this. If I want to draft or not draft something, I'll do it. I'm not trying to be a dickhead. It's just, I just like being myself and not trying to be some sort of like controlled robot and like, you know, writing down what to do and doing everything in a proper manner. Sometimes I might fart or burp or vape during my videos. You know, it just happens. But other than that, y'all are great. Thank you for always the support. Catch me on twitch.tv/Towelliee for more content. I'll be streaming a lot of my AP grind this week, along with this weekend we'll be doing a lot of old school raids. I'm going to dedicate a few hours of my day, maybe 2, to going back and trying to finish up my transmog sets. It's pretty fun to do that. And soon, in a couple of weeks, I'll be doing achievement runs, because I have so many easy achievements and so many mounts that I haven't gotten from, like, Glory of Dungeon, Glory of Raider bullshit, and I could have, like, at least 20 more mounts, and I don't. So I'll probably have you guys help me out with that. Peace out. Enjoy the video. Click like, sub, share the thing. What's the other thing you do? Comment. Fucking comments. Yes! Comments! Science! Bitch!